with its leadership dispute resolved, hopefully, the jostle for the People's Democratic Party's chairmanship position has begun in earnest.
Indeed, the party is expected to choose new national executives in December. Our senior political correspondent, Ayodele Ozugbakun, takes a look at the leading contenders.
After the judgment of the Supreme Court, the People's Democratic Party faces a challenge of reconciling all factions. Obviously, being one of the leading protagonists, the Ahmed McCarthy, who leads the victorious caretaker committee of the party, is not the best man to lead the reconciliation process. Realizing this, the party has already announced plans to hold a convention to appoint new leaders come December. A fresh battle for the chairmanship position has therefore begun. The PDP's executive committee has approved the zoning of the presidential ticket to the north and chairmanship of the party to the south. However, the Southeast leadership appeared ready to concede the chairmanship position to the southwest. This is the only region that has yet produced the party's chairman. The National Caucus decided that the zone be allowed to produce the national chairman. That was the position until the botched National Convention in Port Harcourt. With a new convention scheduled for this December, who has the capacity to lead the party to unseat the ruling APC in 2019. Already, 5 prominent members of the party from the southwest have stepped forward to offer themselves for the job. They are Chief Olabode Ibinyika George, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, Professor Tunde Adeniran, Taoreed Adedoja, and Jimmy Agbaji. For Olabode George, it's a familiar terrain after serving as the party's national vice chairman, Southwest, and later deputy national chairman of the party. He recently declared his intention to lead the party in Lagos.
Some of our colleagues are competing. I'm not saying they shouldn't compete. It's nice to have competition. But do we have the time for experimentation? I served for 10 years at the National Secretariat of our party, meritoriously. When I was National Vice Chairman of the Southwest, we won 5 out of 6 states. When I was Deputy National Chairman South, we won all the governors, all the states in the South.
A tested hand, highly experienced, and that is the type of man PDP needs now. The man that will exhibit maturity, age, and experience.
Professor Tunde Adeniran from Oyo State had earlier also declared his ambition.
The PDP has been operating on the unfamiliar terrain as an opposition party. We are all witnesses to the near-death experience brought about by leadership crisis spanning about 23 months, which unfortunately the party survived through divine providence. Now is the time for a new beginning.
We want a leader that's God-fearing. We want a leader that's going to do things in accordance with the dictates of his conscience and not the dictates of the naira that he gets. People have made becoming chairman of PDP as the most lucrative business. They came with nothing, they go back with billions.
Olujimi Agbaji, a 2-time governorship candidate in Lagos State, joined the PDP briefly before the 2015 election. He had the backings of key governors within the party at the botched Port Harcourt convention. It is yet to be seen if he will continue to be the favorite of the power brokers come December. Also in the race is Taoreed Adedoja, who has thrown his hat in the ring to contest for the #1 position. Having lost the juicy presidential seat to the All Progressive Congress in 2015, whoever emerges chairman in December will lead the battle for the 2019 general election. Ayodele Ozugbakun, TVC News, Lagos.
All right, you have the background there. 5 contenders for this position of chairmanship of the PDP. Now, we have the publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ogun State, Bolaji Adeniji, in the studio with us. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to be here.
The battle has started for the chairmanship of the party. But it is even curious that you don't have a substantive chairman yet, but some people are already declaring for their interest for the presidency come 2019. But that's a different issue right now. What or who can bring the PDP back to winning ways? With the contenders you have right now, does it look likely that the PDP is really ready for business?
Thank you very much. There has never been a time when the PDP had lacked quality men to offer leadership, either at the party level or even in government. And I think having gone through almost 2 years of crisis within the power centers, which culminated in the judgment of the Supreme Court, I think the stage is set for a new birth for the PDP. And that is what we want to do in December, to offer a new leadership that will provide vision towards 2019. And I think we have the men to do it. A number of people have come off to contest. We have very experienced, well-grounded politicians who know their onions and who have valuable experience in party leadership and even in governance. And I think these men, whoever it is, have the capacity to offer PDP the leadership it deserves.
All right.
And of course,
yes,
Nigeria.
there are intrigues already. We are hearing rumors of some of the contenders being asked to step down for the other. And then when you ask that person, he would tell you that he's been asked to step down for the other as well. So far, I want to go back to the question I just asked you. Who do you think really? Yes, you said all of them are, but unfortunately, not all of them will occupy the chairmanship position of the party at the center. So what does the PDP need right now? That winning quality in a person to take charge of the party and take it to the promised land in 2019?
Yeah, there are certain elements we need to look at here. From history, the process of electing, and I use the word electing advisedly, of electing the chairman of the PDP had always come through some form of arrangement, some consensus building among various power centers within the party who hold on to the valuable delegates in all the states. And so when that consensus is built, before we know what is happening, we are already having a man who is probably being propped up, and by the time we get to the convention, maybe what we just need to do is affirmation, because everybody is clear that this is the man we want to elect. But I think, having gone through all that we went through, we can no longer thrive on imposition. The PDP will no longer thrive on godfatherism. The PDP will no longer thrive on the tyranny of the minority over the majority. So that means we're not going to have a situation whereby we have a few power brokers just sit somewhere and say somebody is going to be a national chairman. So which means the man that is going to be the national chairman this time around must be able to demonstrate enough leadership in convincing all the delegates from various states. And if you observe, for the very first time, we now have national chairmanship aspirants now campaigning as though they want to go for general election, meeting delegates state. Before the botched Port Harcourt convention, we had Dr. Bessie, who traversed virtually all the states of the federation, meeting the delegates, meeting the power brokers there, because he believed that this time around it is voting.
Yes.
It is about democracy now. And now we have Taori Adedoja out there, we have Benga Daniel, we have Bode George, we have Tunde Adeniran. At least those are Southwesterners, of course, and Jimmy Agbaje. All of them have thrown their hat in the ring. They've been declaring one after the other, and they all have their consultation and invitation plans to all the delegates in the state.
The PDP has zoned the chairmanship position to the south.
Yes, the zoning said to the south.
Yeah.
But I think it's only fair that within the south, they unanimously conceded to the southwest, who have not taken that turn since 1999, from Solomon La up to McAfee, with over 15, 16 people. None has been a Southwesterner. And the party has zoned the presidency to the north and the chairmanship of the party to the south. And I think it's only fair that the Southwest is given the opportunity to have it this time around.
All right, now looking at some of the contenders, you hear words like experience, dedication, commitment to the party. While on the other hand, you have some groups saying there's a need for fresh blood, new blood, injected into the party, young people to actually take PDP to the future.
Yes.
When you look at some of these contenders, some would tell you that these people actually come with a baggage. You have one that has, faced corruption charges, not even one.
A number of them.
A number of them, actually. And you have one who is not necessarily your run-of-the-mill politician. He is in the mode of what you might want to describe as a technocrat.
Yes, Jimmy.
You got it right.
And has never won an election?
Exactly. tried and tested and all of that. So
apart from the
what do you think really the PDP needs right now to get its act together? If it's really, people are already saying if the PDP doesn't get it right with the chairmanship, then you can kiss 2019 goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Now, let's say the scenario. I think the man that would eventually win in December will be the man who is able to meander the various interstices and cleavages within the party right now in the runoff to the National Convention. For now, it's going to be a mix. Experience is good. Vision is good. Courage, ideas, innovations. Those are all the elements that we need in the man who we want to lead the PDP going forward.
Judging from the smile on your face, anytime we ask you about the convention and the possible winner of the chairmanship position, you smile. Meaning that, is it possible that the PDP at the end of the day might not conduct any election to select?
We will conduct election to elect national chairman. Only, and if there are no issues in the process, that's when the process has to be fair. For the aspirants now, I think Chief Body George and Tunde Adeniran, Professor General, are the two that are really coming with the experience, really, in their hands. Body George has been the National Vice Chairman, Southwest, for about 8 years. He has been the Deputy National Chairman for a number of years. He has been a military administrator. He has served in various departments of government. So he has the experience, so to say. Nobody's going to take that away from him.
You said experience counts.
Yes.
And my question is, what kind of experience? Are we mixing experience up with longevity? You just stated that Bode George has been there like forever. You reeled out some of the positions that he has held. And as a matter of fact, he has said to you too that he has been a loyal party member through thick and thin. Granted, what kind of experience really are we talking about? Is it enough to have been there for a very long time? Or is it the quality of experience that you can boast of that really matters?
I said at the beginning that it's going to be a mix. We are not going to have criterion based exclusively on experience. Because we know what this experience has been in court. And therefore, we are talking of a new paradigm in leadership that we want for the PDP. Not for you to come and bandy experience that borders on nepotism and experience that borders on corruption. We do not want that in the PDP. For somebody like Chief Bode George, despite all those experience, he comes with baggages. And I think it's left for us in the PDP to begin to look at what kind of experience are we looking for here. Do we want people who were part of the rot that we are trying to clean the system away from? And so I think it's not even in the experience. It's in the positive experience that you are bringing on board. Somebody like Professor Tunde Adeniran, for instance, also comes with experience. Having been a former Minister of Education, having been an ambassador to Germany, having served in various strata of the party. He has been a presidential campaign coordinator. He has been electoral panel chairman of various presidential conventions. And so he comes with valuable experience, but really with no baggage. That is, again, the kind of person we are looking for now. There's also Benga Daniel, the former governor of Ogun State, who did his best to move Ogun State forward in his time. He doesn't have political party management experience, as it were, but he has a private sector experience, and what he did when he was in 8 years in government. And so, somebody like that...
anti-party activities for many years.
Of course, those are the baggages. It was in PPN, he was in Labour Party, and now he's back in the PDP. Is that the kind of person that we want to be the new face of the PDP? Those are the questions that delegates...
It seems the PDP really, is testing strange waters right now and needs to get it right. And there is need, according to many, that there is need for it to think outside the box. Because it's a new experience for the party, the new political party since 1999, the first ruling party since 1999, and now is the opposition party. So for it to get back what it lost, there is need to think outside the box. But so far, what we are seeing is there is a possibility it could go the normal way of the unanimous decision of choosing a candidate and anointing the person to become the chairman of the party. It
won't go the normal way this time around. If you look at the process so far, you will discover that people are now being conscious of the fact that I cannot lodge myself over a few other persons. They are getting conscious of the fact that I cannot just go and hide under a few leaders. Otherwise, you won't see Benga Daniel. If it were before, Benga Daniel, for instance, would have just gone to meet his former governors and form a conclave and hope that they will come to impose him on the Congress, on the convention. If it were before, but the judge would have just tried to rally his allies from the north and a bit from the south and just hope that they will get to the convention and lord it over. But now they are selling their programs. They are selling their manifestos. They are going from state to state to preach what they have. So that tells you that there is change. The kind of change that Nigerians want, not the change that the APC is offering. And so once we start our change from leadership, once the orientation changes, once the values we are now preaching in our leadership changes, then we can now begin to say, okay, by the time we arrive at the convention, it will be a result based on the will of the majority of delegates, not by coercion.
Is there a place for the youth in the PDP? You have a group.
There's always a place for the youth in the PDP.
The Renaissance group who are saying, look, it's time for young people. And somebody like Jimmy Agbaje,
yes,
would he fit that bill?
Well,
I'm not trying to put you in a corner.
No, I'm not in any corner.
Okay.
Jimmy Agbaje,
yes. What does he bring to the table?
Very brilliant man.
Yes.
Good private sector experience. He's an administrator. Even though he has not won an election, he has not been. He's not of the experience. He doesn't have the experience in the political outside.
Is it experience you need really?
No, I'm coming.
All Progressive Congress is the ruling party today, from the opposition now to the ruling party.
I'm trying to build something.
Yeah. All right.
I said he contested in 2015 and lost. So that's
only marginally?
Yeah, marginally. You could have also won. In fact, probably we could say you won, but we know all the other issues that made the APC to win. That's the discussion for today.
You can't say you won legally.
I think it's one of the fresh air that, as a party, we are proud of, that this kind of people are now coming on board. Because at the point, the likes of the Anini must go. The judges of this world, even at their 70, they must leave. So if we have people like Benga Daniel, if we have people like Jimmy Agbaje coming on board now, they may not get it. Now,
why?
They may not get
Why?
it because the chairmanship of the PDP is a position that requires certain ingredients. For you to manage the various interests in that party, you must be able to have been on ground, to be able to press and calm down many rumbling waters. And if you are not deep enough, and if you don't have that bit of longevity in that system, you may not be able to. And that's what they count against the likes of Agbaje.
Offering if the usual people again may be the ones to emerge. Thank you very much for your analysis at this time. Bolaji Adeniji, you're the Publicity Secretary of PDP in Ogun State. Thank you for coming. Good morning.
Pleasure.